Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name's Daniel Brown.
My name's Chris. Good morning also from my side. As you maybe see on the cameras here in Germany, it's already pretty late, but we are happy to be here with you guys. And yeah, we hope we bring you a good start into the day.
Absolutely. So we're happy that we're able to catch up with you today. Obviously, normally we're there with you at the CAT conference in, what's today? That would be the Southern CAT conference, somewhere down in the south. Unfortunately, we can't make it, but at least we've got the chance to catch up with you now. So we're actually here in our offices. We're in the showroom today, so we'll have a quick look around.
Yeah, that's basically where we also welcome guests and where we show our automotive concept. Like Daniel said before, normally we would be happy now to be in the US somewhere, have a great time there, have a great barbecue later. This time it won't work, so we have to stay here in Germany in our showroom. A little bit later, we will take a look around and yeah, that you get an introduction to our showroom here. So even if you are at the US, then we take you a little bit here to Germany and give you a slight insight. But okay, let's start with the topic of today, which is
ADAS.
ADAS system, Advanced Driver Assistance Systems. Perfect topic. Okay, before we come to the training systems, what is ADAS basically? Do you want to say some words for that?
So I guess ADAS is a number of different systems. Obviously, everyone's talking about autonomous vehicles now, but ADAS is kind of all of the puzzle pieces that fit together to get to that aim of autonomous vehicles.
Absolutely. And the thing is here, so when we are talking about advanced driver assistance systems, we all know that they have a big benefit for the driver and also for the surrounding traffic, of course. We all can imagine something under this word advanced driver assistance systems, but it's hard to see that system. Like Daniel said before, it's not like you can say, that are the headlights or the front bumper. The advanced driver assistance systems are basically integrated into the whole car, and there are just some spots at the car where they come to the surface and where you can see it from the outside. But this is like with the example from the iceberg. What you see at the outside is only a small part. So we are right now here at the very modern vehicle, Audi Q5 Hybrid, and this car is of course equipped with a lot of different driver assistance systems. Every driver assistance systems needs different components, and here are slightly some components which we can see. For example, down here where normally the fog lights are, here we have the radar system. In that version of the Audi, we have it on the right-hand side from the driver's perspective and on the left-hand side of the driver's perspective. So this is the radar system. We will later see it inside the training systems where you, for example, do the ACC with. Even at the okay, I won't do the bumper now.
Sorry, Graham.
So even at the front shield, there we see at the middle in this black area, there we have a camera. So basically you can say the camera and the radar are one of the most important components for all the different advanced driver assistance systems.
Does this car have LiDAR, Christian?
I don't think so that this car has LiDAR, because that must be also somewhere on a very central spot. So this is not necessarily that any car has LiDAR. What LiDAR is, we will hear later. So, but here we can definitely say we have the cruise control, so the adaptive cruise control. And we have, traffic sign recognition, we have lane assistance and all that. So basically that are all driver assistance systems. The question is now, how can we explain that? So when I say, for example, adaptive cruise control, everyone has an idea because he had used it in the car. But what are the challenges when we are talking about that inside automotive training?
So inside the classroom, things like that. So obviously we're trying to have a look, and on a teacher's perspective, how do you teach these topics? And where can you use a real vehicle? Where is it perhaps a little bit difficult to use a real vehicle?
Absolutely. Just let's start. I think there are two challenges which we have to meet. On the one hand, we are talking about the size, which matters in that case. So what is the problem here? In order to show and to use driver assistance systems in a classical way, we need a whole car. Okay, we have now the problem, how do we want to get a whole car like this SUV inside the classroom, for example? And on the other hand, what is even more important, even if we have one car, how can we get all the students get busy just on one car? That's much too less. And buying a car for each student, well, I think we understand what the problem is here. So we have a size problem and we have a cost problem, but that's not everything. So when we have the car, even in the classroom or in the workshop, it's hard to show how they work when they are staying there. But the even more important part is how to do diagnose and repair on it. And there we even need additional parts for it.
So one of the questions, Christian, is what's the most common kind of tasks or jobs that's going to be required for ADAS systems out in the workshops? What's the, you know, in the end, we need people to fix and repair these systems and keep them running. So
absolutely. So that's not the thing that we like in a combustion engine, where we open the combustion engine and fix the engine on single components. When there's a problem with a component of an ADAS system, you change the wiring, you change the control unit, or you change the radar component, for example. But the most important thing is, on the one hand, to understand the whole system, that you know, yeah, what component could be the problem if you do the diagnose. But the most common task for ADAS system will be calibration. And for calibration, we definitely need more than just the car. For the calibration, we need the diagnostic tester and something like what we see here. So that is in that case from Texas. This is a module or a calibration system for the radar down below here. So that's like a mirror which works together with the radar sensor, and up here for the camera. And later in the training systems, we will see how this calibration works. Because like I said before, the most common task is the calibration. And we bring the calibration from the workshop and from these big parts into the classroom on each student's table. Do you want to add something?
Well, so obviously, what we're looking at is the calibration, how that works, things like that. That's something that's being, like I said, probably the most common job that's needed at the moment for technicians. But I think what we're going to show today is going to show into a little bit more detail how these systems work. And as someone obviously from not from Germany, you're from Germany, but I'm from Australia. I can say that it's definitely a part of the German way of thinking when they develop training systems and do training, is to make sure that everyone doing the training gets a much deeper level of knowledge. The way they call it is system understanding. So it's really important to understand how systems work, so that you're kind of at that level where you're able to diagnose problems. So obviously calibration is going to be helpful if you're swapping out, like you said, switching out some radar parts or fitting new parts after a small accident,
repair and collision tasks. If you just re-equip something, if you upgrade the car, if you, very important part for the younger guys, if you tune or optimize the car and you lower it, then you change the complete characteristic of everything. And it could happen that you need to recalibrate then the radar, for example, or even the camera, because you are now on a different angle towards the street.
And we're going to have discuss a little bit later about implausible signals, things like that, where the computer starts to determine, okay, the signal that I'm getting is not quite right. That's kind of, okay, taking it beyond reading out a fault in the scan tool and saying, okay, just switch out this part. It's making you going to think about where does the fault, because of course all of these systems are connected in networks.
Absolutely.
Using CAN bus, also Ethernet now in
Ethernet,
some of systems.
FlexRay.
FlexRay, exactly. So it's really taking it to a much higher level.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And now let's move from the big smart parts to the small smart parts.
Okay. So just while we're here in the showroom, we'll just have a quick look around here. It's not something normally when we're traveling, obviously over the other side of the world, we normally just bring a little box with one or two items with us. But
That's
while
true.
we're here, we've got everything. So we'll just have a quick look around. So some of the other systems that we've got here, electrical systems, obviously lighting systems, xenon lighting systems, generator systems, CAN bus, all sorts of different systems that we have here.
And over here we have as well different systems for engine management. It's here behind the car, so it's all about engine management, ABS, different sensors, actors, and even here, the camera can catch it. So this one over here, this is our small new invention of a one-cylinder engine. When this is finished, then the students can, after they have understood the principles of engine management, then they can start to program their own control unit and optimize it so that the combustion is better, the ignition timing and all that. So that's really the philosophy of our concept, that we start with the very small things, easy to understand, and then we go higher and higher, more complex, and end at the real car.
The little black box that you're seeing on the back there is actually a dyno, so
yes,
you'll be able to load the system up. And yeah, if you just have a quick look in this room, when we start talking about Unitrain and desktop training, this is one of our training rooms that we use here. So you see that the Unitrain is set up here in a U shape. This is where students normally would get the various hardware and software courses that they're working on and work out in a situation like this. So interesting just to show you what our showrooms look like after normally, just as I said, traveling with one or two pieces of equipment.
Absolutely. But now let's come back to the actual topic of the ADAS systems. So you've seen before the actual car and the actual equipment for calibrating the different sensors of an ADAS system. But now we take a closer look at our different table solutions for ADAS systems. So before we go in close detail, quick overview. We have here our system for ACC, Adaptive Cruise Control. So this is basically the radar system, the radar task. And here, I hope you see it now on the camera. You see this radar sensor, which is actually also mounted, or where the Audi Q5 is equipped with.
So this is actually a radar sensor that we've managed to repurpose into a training system.
That's true.
And we can turn that around and you should see that we've, instead of having the large normal size calibration system, we've put it here so that the students at least get an understanding of how the system works and be able to perform it. So.
Absolutely, and there you see more or less it's one-on-one the system, which we have seen before at the front. There's just a small difference. Maybe someone has recognized it. We don't have this classical mirror down there, but like a special system. How do you say that in English?
This matrix here.
Yeah, this matrix there, exactly. So perfect is later on we go in more detail how this works or what's the purpose of this. I think most of you can already imagine that. Yeah, there you see the red dot, which is the laser. So like I said, we have here a real ACC system which completely works and which really gives you hands-on training over here. With each hardware, we always see the course. So the LabSoft course, every system here comes together with a LabSoft course which explains all the techniques, which gives you an introduction to the training system, and which gives you like the red line for the single experiments which you can do with a training system.
What I'll just add here, Christian, what we've done is split the screen up now so that you can see there's both the e-learning here. If you want to focus something a little bit bigger here, there's a little divider in between the two screens.